Divine rising, divine rising. Shalom, shalom. Divine rising, my beautiful brothers and sisters. I'm just outside enjoying this beautiful sun. It's almost similar to the video I took the other night when the moon was out and you see the colors around it. This one right here, you can see the colors as well. And that's due to the fact that the sun has an aura. Just like we have auras, we see colors and things like that. But I wanted to make this video to show you something. Now, we all know the weather has been up and down. It's been cold and hot, cold and hot, cold and hot. But I want to show you guys something, especially for us who feel like we don't have anyone. And it's not that we don't. We feel like we feel like we don't have anyone. We actually don't. And I remember some years ago, there was a young lady who came by my house working for a company that sells solar panels. And it was actually, and this is not to brag or to try to prove anything, but I remember we had a long conversation, and she sat down on my porch while I was talking to her. And I never realized until afterwards, the Messiah's disciples would do the same thing when the Messiah would teach. Because reason why I bring this up, because I've always tried to understand and know who I am to the Most High, even what I am. And it's like, the Most High has been patient with me, let me know who and what I am to it. And I remember I was telling her I usually come outside and I sit and I'm always learning. Now I remember the first time I came out, and this goes back to what I was saying to us who feel like, we have no one, when we really don't. Even the Bible says if Yah is all you have, then you have all you need. Now I want you guys to look at this tree. Most of the leaves up there are dying or about dead. You really don't see too many leaves. This one's in the process of, the leaves are dying, not the tree. Now hear me when I say this. The tree is not dying, but the leaves are dying. And here's the thing, even with leaves, with the leaf that dies or falls off and hits the ground, it's really not a loss, because it's like energy. Energy doesn't die, and you have to realize energy is in everywhere. And I wanted to say this, just like a lot of these trees that's losing leaves, I want to say to those who are seeing people walk away, in life you're going to lose a lot of people. It's like these trees that lose the leaves. But here's the thing, the tree's life is not predicated on the leaves. It's not even predicated on the branches, because you're going to have some people who are like leaves. When the wind blows and things get hard, they're going to fall. And then you're going to have some people who are like branches. And here's the thing, branches can be tricky. And here's the thing, the wind may blow and blow, and that branch may still be there. But if it gets a little bit harder, then snap, that branch is gone. The reason why I'm saying this, because I won't say believe, because I've never, as far as the word believe, I've always I've always known when you believe in something, it also leaves room for you not to believe. So it leaves room for doubt. I've always knew that the Most High brings people in your life for a season and a reason. Even with family members, the people we come across, you may meet somebody and have a good conversation with them and never see them again. But the thing is, we all learn, and no one is too old to learn. And I've experienced this. When you have older people in your life and they feel like you can't teach them anything because they know everything. And here's the thing. That's where a lot of people are going to fail. To realize not only when you reject young people, you reject the Most High. Because here's the thing. When you read in the Bible, King David was a child when he was anointed by the Most High. Mary, who was a teen, by the way, giving birth to the Messiah. And here's the thing, even that right there, when I say us, I mean us melanated people. When you look at our community, you have kids having kids. That goes back even farther than Mary. Which is a generational curse, by the way. But I say that to say this. Just like a tree loses its leaves, sometimes loses its branches. Even when a tree loses its branches, that tree doesn't die. Because the thing is, I say this, as above, so below. When that tree loses all the leaves and it's just the branches, think about what's below, the roots. And if you could take a picture and look at an empty tree without leaves, and then take an x-ray and look under, it looks exactly the same. And here's the thing. You'll have some people who won't be like leaves and leave you. You have some people who won't be like branches that break off and break you. But very few times in life you'll have people who are like roots. And I will say this, a relationship that I feel that's so important is a relationship between a person and their grandparent. For me, it was my grandmother. Y'all rest her soul. When I looked at her, I felt love when I looked at her. And that's the thing, most people don't realize, grandparents who look at their grandchildren, they see in them the future of their past. And for some people might say, hold on, what do you mean? I'll explain. Don't worry. When I say they see the future of their past, they understand where they come from, but they see in you a brighter future for us as a people. And they realize that, hey, it's up to me to help this baby grow and go the right direction. Yes, I had my mom, and yes, I've had other people in my life who played an important role. But sometimes, the role is as big as it needs to be. The Most High will never put more on you than you can bear. And different people can bear different things. Which brings me to a point where I've never agreed with the all men are created equal. Even when it comes to the chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. And here's the thing. Sometimes people put the chosen in one big category, but that's not right. And the reason why I'll say I don't agree with that, because you have many chosen you got to realize, out of the chosen, you have certain individuals who can do certain things. Like my big bro and Yasharel the Seer. This guy is younger than me, but I still call him my big bro for a reason. And here's the thing is, like, if you know, you know. I see him spiritually. And this guy is wise, way beyond his years. And Yasharel the Seer, if you see this, I know you understand exactly what I'm talking about. There'll be some things where I'll be in your stream and you can say it, and I'm about to type, and I'm like, I was just about to type that. And what I'll do is I'll delete it, and I'm like, oh man, like, why didn't I send it? And it's almost like one of those situations where if you're gonna do something and you take your time and you delay somebody else do it, and it's like, well, they already did it. There's no point in me doing it. But that shouldn't be a reason to stop you from doing something. And I don't mean you, Yasharel the Seer. When I say you, I've always had to explain to some people when I say you, I don't mean you. I mean as in general. And sometimes people do things, and here's the thing. You can do something that you're supposed to be doing, but not do it and mess your own blessing up. And what's crazy is most people, and when I say most people, I'll be honest, I'm generalizing. Because here's the thing, we're all growing, even as chosen. Sometimes we mess up, we say things, but we understand it's not for me to be sorry. It's not for me to be sad. But it's for me to understand that I have to be better. And sometimes things happen and we feel like I have to be better. I've always heard people bring this verse up. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not be weary. They will walk and not faint. And I had a conversation with the Most High. And I was asking the Most High, what am I supposed to be doing by waiting? And I don't know why I felt in me, and I heard something say, why are you waiting when the Most High is waiting on you? I've always felt like, no, I'm not going to say felt, I've always known, and please believe me, this is not an ego thing when I say I know something. And I'll be honest, there's some things I don't know. I'm still learning. But I've always knew that there was something in me, which is me, that predates the age of this body. I've always felt myself as an old soul. But back to what I'm saying. I don't like these cars riding by. that card that took my train of thought of what I was talking about. But moving on. I've always felt like, as far as like us being, yes, us being not being equal and making mistakes and stuff, I've always believed that, well, I've always known that, just like I was saying with my big bro, Yasharel the seer, he has many gifts. He's a seer. A lot of things he says, and you have to speak with him if you can, because here's the thing: most seers, they are very reserved, and you have to. And here's the thing: it's not that they don't want to talk to people, but you have to realize that being a seer means that you share a direct connection with the Most High, and you have to protect your energy. You have to protect your heart above all things. Even the Bible says that. Why? Because everything flows to, through, and from it. And you think about what goes through your heart is your blood. Do you realize your blood is your life? The blood is who you are. Even they have songs about it. The blood will never lose it will never lose its power. And I know many Christians will, if there are any, come up here, let's talk about the blood of Jesus. And here's the thing. When you read about the Messiah, Yahushua, even when it comes to anything in the Bible, you're supposed to be reading it for you. When you read about the Messiah, you're supposed to be reading about you. It took me a while to realize that. I am 41 years old, and it took me over 30 something years to realize, why does it feel like I'm reading about me? A lot of things that the Messiah went through, and I'll be honest, and it feels like history repeating itself. And you can say, well, Mike, you've been 41. You haven't been nailed on a X. You haven't been crucified. Here's the thing. You don't know that. There's people in your life who will do things and reject you. There's people in your life. And here's the thing. Just because somebody do you wrong, reject you, that could be a lesson. No, actually, it is a lesson. I see it as a lesson because it's the Most High's way of teaching you how to move and where to go, where not to go, who to be around, who not to be around. And here's the thing, it's like that in relationships. And I'm not going to say just women, but I mean, when you really look at the statistics and look around, and you know that there's this term, mad black woman. There's also a movie about it. If I'm not mistaken, Tyler Perry made it. A mad black woman. Here's the thing. It's not just women who are mad. It's men too. But the fact is, they're not even mad. And I'll equate this to a baby. When a baby cries, it's for only a few reasons. Either that baby is hungry, that baby is tired, or that baby is sleepy or sick. And we're just like babies ourselves. I don't care how old you are, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, heck, even 70. Here's the thing. And even the Bible says we have to be childlike. And I always wonder, why is it that we've stopped doing the things that we were doing when we were children? And I don't mean like the childish things as in like, and here's the thing. I honestly feel it's okay. Now, yes, there's a place and a time to be serious, and there's a place and a time to be, to goof off. There's a place and a time to be responsible. And, and this may even, cause him, there's a place and a time to not be responsible. Sometimes it's okay to not be serious. You have some people, you always got to be serious in life. Always got to be serious. But that's the thing. When you take things serious all the time, you miss the fun in it. You don't think the Messiah joked around with his disciples and even, told a joke every once in a while? I see it with Yahshua the Seer all the time. When things get serious and he's teaching, and then, he'll, hey, let's make this funny. And the thing is, even though he's making it funny, we're still learning at the same time. Or if he plays some music, I've learned that music speaks to the soul, because music is frequency. Now, granted, a lot of music of today, I'll be honest, a lot of it is low vibrational. You have to go back to, if you want to listen to real music that heals, you're gonna have to go back to the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. Some 2000, but I mean, as in real songs that talk about real love. Most music today is, now I'll be honest, most music today is demonic. That's why they have things like verses in it, chorus. Most words, you have to realize, people give meanings to these words that already have meanings to them. And I know it seems like I'm getting off topic, but I'm not. It's I promise I'm going a certain way, and it's gonna lead me back to what I was saying. But yeah. Even, the stuff we do, it's like these holidays. You think about when the children of Israel were free from Egypt. And here's the thing. Even before Moses got back with the tablets, with the commandments up there, these people were already doing what the Egyptians were doing. They made a golden calf, worship, and which is an idol. They made a golden calf and was partying and doing these things, coincidentally, just on the tablet that said not to do. And here's the thing. We've come out of bondage back in, well, I'm not going to say we, people, we as a people, most of our people come out of bondage back into bondage. Why? Because we keep doing the same things that the Most High said not to do. And then people make excuses for why they're doing it. If I was to ask some of you, why do you celebrate Thanksgiving? Yeah, because, it's something my family always did. Yeah, because, it's my way to thank the Most High. It's my way to thank God, give thanks to God. You're supposed to give thanks to the Most High every day. I do when I get up in the morning. The first thing I do when I get up, I speak my morning affirmations. I give praise to Yah. I thank Mama Yah for the breath that's been put into my lungs. While I'm asleep and my body is basically unprotected. I thank the Most High for the host of angels who sit and watch and protect me. My spirit guides, my guardian angels. Before my feet hit the ground, I do all that. Because I've made this a thing. You know how some people say, when I get up in the morning, I don't want to talk to anybody until I have my coffee. For me, I don't want to talk to anyone until I first spoken with the Most High, until I've spoken with Mama Yah. And the same thing when I go to bed. If I have not spoken to you before I've gone to bed, and I've already spoken with the Most High, and Mama y'all, after I do that, I don't want to talk to nobody. So it's like, don't come knock on my door, don't call my phone. And here's the thing. Some would say, hey man, that's rude. Why would you do that? Why would you say that? Here's the thing. I've learned to prioritize what's important. It is not to say like the people in my life is not important. But here's the thing, just like the Bible says, and the Messiah said, he who doesn't hate his mother, father, who doesn't hate his children, or even his life, if you value those things above, and here's the thing, most would say, yeah, if you value yourself above Jesus, if you value those things above you, above yourself, you're not worthy. And the reason why I say yourself, because you have to realize that the very thing that most people pray to, even for those who meditate, when you look inside, and we look for those, and not even look for the light, but when we meditate and we see these colors, you realize those colors are you. Just as the Bible says in the beginning, the earth was dark and the earth was void and filled with darkness. You know it's also void and filled with darkness? A womb. The very womb you were in, the very womb your body was formed in. And here's the thing. You were created before the body. Just as the Most High told Job, forgive me. Just as the Most High asked Job, where were you when I laid the foundations of the world and the morning stars? Where were you when I laid the foundations for the world? When the morning stars sing and the sons of God rejoice. Sons of God, not son, but sons of God. Most people don't even realize, you know how it talks about the 7 spirits? There's also 7 sons. And here's the wisdom in that the 7 spirits are the 7 sons. And no, it's not a male thing. So you saying that it's only men? No. In the original language in Hebrew, sons is not a gender thing. You can be a man or a woman and still be a son. Because it's really not talking about S-O-N, but it's talking about S-U-N. Most people don't realize the sun we look at in the sky is not the only sun out there. There are other suns as well. There are suns that are bigger than the sun we see in the sky now. And they all have a purpose. That's why plenty of times you look outside, hey, the sun is shining bright. Not realize you're not looking at the same sun that you saw yesterday. It's a totally different sun. And I know some of the things I'm saying is passing over a lot of people's head. What is this man talking? What is he talking about? That's the thing. And that's just me. That's one of the things and this is not to go out and, yeah, I do this and I do that. I do all these things. Yeah. It's not to prove nothing to anybody or what I am or who I am. I know exactly who and what I am. And it's that I am. I am what I am. I am who I am. I am everything that I am. Back to my point, about us being different. Many of us have dreams. I've dreamt like Joseph. I've heard like Samuel. I've cried like the Messiah. And not to make it about me, but I also know that some of you who are listening have done the same things. And the fact is, it can be confusing, but I realize that we as what we call as a people, here's the thing. You can't know the Most High if you don't know who you are. And let's be honest, we as a people, we don't know ourselves. We don't know who we are. We call ourselves Black Americans, African Americans. We call ourselves so many names when the Most High calls us something else. But we don't know that due to the fact that our people have been brainwashed into believing that the Most High is this and that, when that's not the Most High. The truth is, we are the Most High. When you think about what or who the Most High is, just like Yasharel the seer was teaching about the Tower of Babel, which has nothing to do with Babel as in language. When you think about the Tower of Babel, I've always been able to see things for what they are. And I mean as from a point of view that most people won't understand. When I think about the Tower of Babel, you have the heathens trying to build a tower to get to the Most High. Where you think, for us, we think about Jacob's ladder. It's about your chakras. You're building your way up, activating your chakras. And your higher self. They always say, get in touch with your higher self. Do you realize that your higher self is also at your crown chakra, which coincidentally just happens to be the same place where the Most High resides? Because here's the thing. We're trying to build our way up, coming from a state of basically not knowing anything. Because when you're born into this world, you're not just physically born into this world. Just like, they say they talk about the Big Bang Theory and the spark that created the world. When you think about that spark, is when you are created. Your spirit. That's the creation of you. So same as the spark that created the universe, that spark is what creates you. So even when you think about the universe, when you think about the earth, it's you. I've always heard, when I was in church, I heard, people saying, I can feel him in the atmosphere. It's not talking about that atmosphere. I mean, like, really, let's not be too primitive and let's really think about this. And when I say, be too primitive, it's no insult. I know some people might say, oh man, he calling us simple. He calling us dumb. He calling us this. Here's the thing. A lot of people are simple. And here's the thing. And it's not that they don't know. Some people really don't know. But it's that they refuse to believe due to the fact that for so many years they've been force-fed ideologies and all these things that are not true. And to some people it may seem like, man, you from the way you sounding, it sounds like you saying you God. And we gotta worship you. We gotta bow to you. I'll just say this. At the mention of his name, every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. Most people don't realize when you're talking about the child of the Most High, the Lamb of the Most High, you're talking about the 144,000. And you have those who are lost sheep. And certain people, they've been tasked with finding those lost sheep. And here's the thing. You can't find a lost sheep if you're in your house isolating yourself from everyone. You know, the Messiah told his disciples, go out and preach the word. Go out and tell the good news. It doesn't mean to sit in a church and talk to people who you're familiar with. It means to go out and speak the truth. Now, I'm not talking about like do like the camps do as far as like go on the corners and yell and cuss at people and condemn people. No, because here's the thing. I've always been the type, I've been able to talk to anybody. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. And even when I think about it, I'm like, why is it when I talk to certain people, they become so comfortable around me that it's like they open up and they start telling me their secrets and things like that. I'm like, I'm not gonna say crazy, but like this is mind blowing. Like and you know, like most people back then in the Bible days, when they seen the Messiah doing miracles, they didn't believe it, because even today, a lot of people say, that's the stuff they did. That's only the stuff they did in the Bible days. They did it in the Bible. But here's the thing: you have to realize that we're living in the Bible days now. Revelation is happening now. Most people don't realize that. They feel like, the Bible was written, blah, 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 thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. So those were them days. No, those days are these days, and these days are those days. Everything it's the same. There is no difference, because you have so many people who have been ostracized. You have so many people who have been neglected. You have so many people who have been crucified. Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, Mike Brown. And I can name many more, and not just men, but women as well. Because we as a people, yes, and I'm not going to say we, because there are those who walk with us, and those who are with us and look at us. And here's the thing: just because a person is with you, just because a person looks at you, it doesn't mean that they're for you. Some people are looking at you not because they're in awe of the things that you overcome, but they're looking at you trying to figure out, how did you survive the trap that they set? That's why you have to be careful with certain people. You have to be careful who you hang around, who you share your energy with. That's why we have to use discernment, brothers and sisters. It's so important that we do. Because the very people who you bring with you, and here's the thing, we're not supposed to bring anybody. I've always likened it to a airplane. Getting on an airplane. You know how when you first get on a plane, you sit down, and when they take off, hey, we need everybody to put on the seatbelts. We're going to be going higher over 30, 40,000 feet in the air. And when we get at cruising altitude, we'll turn the seatbelts off, and we'll start serving snacks or beverages, and you'll be able to go to the bathroom. I've always believed our walk with the Most High is just like that. Because you have to realize, when you walk hand in hand with the Most High can go places that we can't go. So we're going to have a lot of lows, and we're going to have a lot of highs. As in, we're going to have a lot of bad times, and we're going to have good times. Even the Messiah told us that. He said that life is going to bring you problems, but in me there's peace. When you get by yourself and you look in you, and you get away from the drama, even when the drama follows you or tries to follow you, you have to make the effort to go as far away as you can. Even if it means that you have to go into the wilderness. Sometimes the wilderness is for your protection. So if the Most High puts you in the wilderness, believe No, just know it's for your protection. The Most High doesn't do anything to harm us. And here's the thing. And you can say, well, you just said the Most High doesn't do anything harm. Sometimes we need our hearts broken. Because as the Bible says, the Most High is close to those who are brokenhearted and those who have a weary spirit. So when you're brokenhearted, just understand it's the Most High's attempt to get closer to you. And here's the thing. If you want to be close to the Most High, you have to draw near the Most High, and the Most High will draw near you. It's like if you want to be close to the Most High, go outside. Take your shoes off. Get grounded. Listen to the birds. Listen to the wind blow through the trees, even through the grass. Now back to what I was saying. You know, a lot of us are different. Some of us teach. Some of us see. Some of us hear in the spirit. We see in the spirit. We teach about the spiritual things. Some of us see. Some of us prophesy about the future. Some of us prophesy to people about what's going on in their lives. And not many people can say, yeah, I can do that. Because you have to realize when you claim to do things like that, you're claiming that you have the Ruach HaKodesh. You're claiming to be something, and if you're not that something that you're claiming to be, I warn you now, please stop. Because just as we as seers, we carry a very heavy mantle. We carry a mantle of the Most High. And when you claim to be something that you're not, especially you claim to be a seer, there's a heavy penalty for that. And it comes with a lot of bad things. So I would say, woe to you, woe to those who claim to be things that they're not. Especially when you claim to have the Ruach HaKodesh. And that is blasphemy. That is blasphemy against the Holy Spirit, which is the unforgivable sin. Now, some may understand, some may not. And if you don't understand, I won't be mad. And I just say this, I hope you don't be mad either. Because, you know, I'm starting to realize that the things I say is not meant for everybody. Now, this may contradict what I said earlier about belief, but I believe that my purpose, as far as what I'm supposed to be doing, is to speak to those who need to be spoke to, as far as the lost sheep. And not even those who are lost, but those who understand and maybe not fully understand. You know, every time when I read in Revelation, when John describes the Messiah, you know, hair as wool, eyes like fire, feet as a burnt brass. And I sometimes I find myself getting angry at certain things, and it's always something that stops me from, I would say, raging. And when I get into that moment, I look at myself and it's like I see the Messiah in me. And some would say, hey, it sounds like you're saying you're the Messiah. I'll say this. As far as the 144,000 goes and those within the 144,000, as I said before, you have 7 spirits. There's also 7 sons. We are tasked with different things that we're supposed to do. And you could ask, well, why Lucifer do what Lucifer did? Or why did this angel do that? Or why did he do that? We all have a purpose, and that's things we're supposed to do. Judas. And you can say, how was Judas tasked to do that? Because the thing about it, I've always said, you want to know how Satan knows anything about you? Satan cannot read your mind. I've had someone older tell me Satan cannot read. That's why even the Bible it says to write the vision and make it plain. Because when you write your things, especially that's why you write your dreams down. Even when you pray, write the prayer down and make a journal prayer. A journal just for your prayers. Because it's going to be in those moments when you feel like, what is there that I can say to make myself feel better? What prayer can I say that's going to make the Most High understand what I'm going through? And here's the thing. It's not about trying to make the Most High feel anything. The Most High feels what we feel. Due to the fact that you have to realize your life has already been played out. You're just living it now. So it's like the Most High writing a story. The story is done. Now the story has to happen, and it's happening now. We're just going through it. And here's the thing: we feel like, and sometimes you feel like, why is it I have I'm not gonna say deja vu, but deja vu, because the fact is we've done this thing already. We just don't remember it. Due to the fact that there are certain things that you have to forget because certain things come with hurt. Certain things come with pain. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get really emotional. And that's just me. I'm a very emotional man. I'm a very emotional being. Not an emotional man. I'm a very emotional being. If what I'm talking about, it makes me emotional and I feel like crying, I'll cry. I'm not afraid of that because, I was raised, and I've always heard people say, if you're a man and you cry, then you're weak. The Messiah cried, and he was the manliest man of all men. That's not, make no mistake about it. He felt what we feel now. And he even said, just when the world hates you, just know it hated me first. You know the type of hurt that hurts? Being rejected. That hurts. And I remember reading in the Bible, it says he was wounded for our transgressions. And I was wondering, when was he wounded? And here's the thing. This is a teaching moment. It wasn't on the cross when he was wounded for our transgressions. It wasn't the night they beat him out, when they beat him all night, when he was wounded for our transgressions. You want to know what that transgression was? When that hurt came, is when he came into his own and they received him not, meaning they rejected him. Not knowing they rejected him, they rejected the Most High. How did they reject the Most High? They didn't know this guy. He come here and giving all these claims. But he came to tell them who they were. And by rejecting him, it's like when you reject who you are and you're supposed to be doing something, yet you don't do it, you reject the Most High. You reject the gifts of the Ruach HaKodesh. You blaspheme against our Mama Yah. And this is not me condemning nobody, but it's speaking the truth. And we have to realize that the truth has to be spoken. Yes, the truth hurts, but the truth shall make you free. And here's the thing. I've always heard people say the truth shall set you free. Understand this. Anything that's been set free can also be captured again. So the reason why I say the truth shall make you free instead of the truth shall set you free, because the truth is in you. But when you make something free, you make it so it can't be captured again. And sometimes the Most High will deliver you from something and you unknowingly walk right back, turn around and walk back into it and then wonder, why is this happening again? And you could be in a place where the Most High is saying, I need you to leave from there. But yet you go and get yourself together and then you don't leave. Or if you're doing something, you'll stop doing it and then turn around when whatever reason you were doing that thing in the first place, you start doing it again and then wonder why are you back in the hell that you were in? And it's like, you keep going back there. Stop doing that. Like I was saying, especially with these holidays, most people don't realize that the original, as far as Thanksgiving, and here's the thing, most Christians will tell you, it talks about Thanksgiving in the Bible. No, it's talking about giving thanks to the Most High. That's not the same thing. Here's the thing. A lot of people like to put stuff together that doesn't go together. The original meaning of Thanksgiving was a celebration. When the colonizers killed the natives and celebrated on their graves, and here's the thing, it's crazy how so many schools, churches, and government buildings that are built on top of unmarked native graves. We are literally doing the same thing that they done in Egypt and out of Egypt. And then we wonder why we're going through so much stuff. Because we keep making the same mistakes. And then we make excuses. Well, my family does it, so we're going to do it. My family did this, so we're going to do it. It's a part of our culture. Truth being, and I want to say this face to face, it's because of our culture that most of our people are going to hell. Stop making excuses for sin. Well, I do it because of this, I do it because of that. Even by doing that, you separate yourself from the Most High. It's because of our culture. Our ways are not like the Most High's ways. Our ideas are not the Most High's ideas. Our thoughts are not the Most High's thoughts. Even our words are not the Most High's words. You have to realize that the Most High is above us for a reason. Many times you do things, your higher self will warn you. That intuition you feel in your gut. Oh man, hey, maybe I shouldn't go. You know what? I was gonna go out today. I don't know, something tell me I shouldn't go. And then you know what? Nah, man, I gotta go out. Yeah, because here's the thing. It'll be something outside of you that influenced you to go. A friend, and I'm gonna say a quote unquote friend. Because you have to realize that a real friend would actually, you know what? It's okay, man. You know, we'll be all right, man. If if you're concerned about something, hey, I understand. But some people don't do that. Due to the fact that I've always said people will see your light before you see it. They will see what's so special about you before you even know. Like, man, why when I go places like everybody all of a sudden is in a good mood? It's because of you, your energy, your light. They not only see it, they not only feel it, but they see it and they feel it. And they're like moths to the flame, which your spirit is a flame. You know, we've always thought about the Ruach HaKodesh as so many things. The Ruach HaKodesh is also a flame as well. It is a fire. It's like, you know how some people say that passion that burns inside of me? That is the Ruach HaKodesh. That flame that burns inside of us, which is also you because it's your spirit. It's a spirit that the Most High has made, and anything the Most High made is holy. So stop letting these churches trick you into thinking that you're not good enough. Stop letting these people, even family members, anybody, trying to make you feel like you're not good enough. And here's the thing. People will show you that you're not for them. And it's not that, here's the thing, it's not that you're trying to be against them. But even as the Bible says, you can't serve two masters. You will either love one and hate the other, or you will hate one and love the other. So when you love yourself enough to walk away from toxic people, when you love yourself enough to say, I can't do this anymore, you choose the Most High over everything. And everything that's everything that's for you, in due time, it will fall in line. But here's the thing, in due time. Sometimes we want things at our timing. You have to realize that we're at the mercy of the Most High's timing. He is the potter, and we are the clay. The clay does not ask, hey, can you mold me into this? I want to be this right here, and I want to be a vase. No, I don't want to be a vase. I want to be a flower pot. No, I don't want to be a flower pot. I want to be I want to be something that's beautiful. You have to realize that, things are made what they are for a reason. You could be the clay and the Most High make you into an urn. So you tell me that the Most High is going to turn me into an urn that hold dead ashes? I'm going to hold some ashes? That's the thing. You know what an urn represents? It represents a vessel. To hold whoever it is, to hold their body in it. So when the time comes and that spirit comes back to look for their body, they're able to find it. And you basically sacrificing what could be a good life to be an urn. And not a literal urn. But sometimes you can be the type of person where the Most High put the responsibility on you to help them. And I don't mean to save them, because here's the thing. The truth is, some people you can't save. Some people, and it's not that you can't save, you're not supposed to save them. For a person to want to be saved, they have to want it. And you can't save a person that doesn't want to be saved. You can't help a person that doesn't want to be helped. You can't force somebody to believe in what you believe in. If they believe, or if they even know, I don't know, that's on them. And that may sound mean, like, dang, that's cold. Again, it's truth. And the truth hurts. But I'll get back to what I was saying. I want you guys to see something. And I usually get these flowers. They're called dandelions. And I never knew that dandelions were considered a weed. But look how beautiful that is. I used to have a lot in my backyard. And that made me think of something. I realized that sometimes the Most High will have the most beautiful things in the ugliest environments. So just know, if you come from a place, the ghettos, if you come from the harsh neighborhoods where there's drugs and gangs, just know that you are a beautiful thing that's been placed in an ugly environment. Now that environment, most would say, man, that's messed up. You never forget where you're not, they say never forget where you come from. And here's the thing. The harshest environments can mold you into to be the toughest things, but the most beautiful but toughest things. And it's a lesson to be learned within that. Because when you go out, when you get older and you go out in the world, you've already experienced life as life, what life really is. You've already experienced. So when it comes time for the hurt, you're already familiar with this pain. And it's like, man, was that supposed to hurt? Because I ain't feel nothing. And here's the thing. It's all about healing from those pains though. When you heal from those pains, it don't hurt like it used to hurt. But if you don't heal, you will always go through that same cycle of being hurt, that same cycle of being angry and rageful. It's a hell. And that's to say this. I say that to say this. You have so many people on hell right now that don't even realize it, because people feel like hell is supposed to be a place. No, hell is not a place. It's a mindset. So when you are always angry, always depressed, the Most High will give you chance after chance. The Most High has given chance after chance after chance for people to change. Oh, you mean repent? That's what repent means. To change. Not just to say, I'm sorry. And here's the thing. Most people will make you feel like if you say sorry and you cry at the same time, that means you're forgiven. The Most High is not moved by your emotions. The Most High is not moved by your tears. Now, this is me being honest. Yes, your tears, here's the thing. You could be saying one thing, but your heart is saying another. You can't be crying and saying, oh, I'm sorry. I did this. And your heart is saying, I love doing that. Yes, I like doing that. What I'm not supposed to do. A man who is confused in one way is confused in all his ways. So that means your prayer is not even genuine. You think the Most High is listening to that? No, the Most High is not listening to that. I know I came up here to, greet you guys, and I tried to make a video the other day, but I was walking around just like now, and my battery died. My phone died. I was like, oh man, the video wasn't even finished. And I talked about a bunch of stuff. But you know what? I said, you know what? If it's meant to be, if I can make another video, then I'll just make another video, talk about something else. This is, I've always felt like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I've had so many people tell me, hey man, you need to write a book. Most people don't know what I've been through. And this is not the start pity party. But I've died. And I mean literally. Most don't know I'm a veteran. I was in the US Army. And on January 26, 2007, while patrolling in Baghdad, I got shot in my head by a sniper. I was told that after I got shot, I wasn't breathing, but I had a slight pulse. And I've always said this. Most people say, man, you know why you survived? It was because of your adrenaline. Your adrenaline kept you alive. No. I believe that it was the Most High keeping me from falling and dying. And not falling literal, because I already got shot and I was out. I was unconscious. But I was told that, I remember waking up afterwards not knowing where I was, or I didn't even know what happened. I knew something happened to me, but I didn't know that I got shot. This is it's my nephew's cat, but he acts like my cat. That's another thing. I don't know why it is. Ever since I was younger, I've always been, I've always had cats and dogs and animals, even babies. Babies always, it's like I can go somewhere and if there's a baby, this baby is staring at me. There's one time I was going grocery shopping, and there was this lady who I was with my mom, and she was talking. They were talking, and this baby the whole time was staring at me, and she was smiling, and she had her arms up like she wanted me to pick her up, and I'm smiling too, and I'm like, whoa, and this baby, like her face is lit up, and like you can actually see her glowing. Oh, yeah, back to what I was saying. But yeah, even after everything that happened with me getting injured, it's crazy. I was in a. I remember them asking me questions like, "Hey, Russell, do you know where you are? Do you know what day it is? Do you know what happened?" I don't even know if I gave the right answers as far as like if I said the right day, if I even knew my name. And I remember they was getting me prepped for surgery, and I blacked out, not knowing that's when I went into a coma. I was in a coma for 3 days. I was on life support on a respirator for 3 days because I wasn't able to breathe on my own. And I don't know what it is. It's everything that's happened to me in my life has always been with me breathing. I had to relearn how to walk, talk, read, write, and feed myself all over again. Even me talking now, you would be like, I mean, I can kind of tell, but here's the thing. Even when I listen to myself talk, I've always felt like, I don't know, maybe it's a speech impediment or no, it's like a slur. But I've had people tell me, no, it's just your accent. You being from North Carolina, you are country AF. And I never, as far as like, I never thought I had an accent until I went into the military. And I've had guys tell me, Russell, you and your country accent, we cannot tell anything you saying. It sounds like you're eating your words. Which is crazy because I'm like, I don't have an accent. And then slowly, after listening to other people, I start noticing like, I have an accent. Like, I didn't realize it. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's where I'm from. Some people, I've never been ashamed of where I'm from. Because I realize where I come from has made me who I am. I'm the type of person, I'm more happy without money than I am with money. I'm more satisfied and at peace when I don't have things that I feel like I need than when I do have it. Here's the thing, because when you have peace, you have certain people in your life that don't want you to have peace because they feel like, hey, if I'm not happy, then you're not supposed to be happy. The exact reason why they say misery loves company. Excuse me. My apologies. My other phone notification was going off and I had to turn it off. But yeah, misery loves company. And when you're around people who are miserable, they will be threatened by your peace. They will be threatened when you're having a good day because they feel like, hey, if I'm not having a good day, then you can't have a good day. And I would say, woe to you to those who have people like that around them. If you are a chosen, if you are a seer, a star seed, or whatever you consider yourself, be warned when I say this. Certain people are not supposed to be in your light. Certain people are not supposed to be in your energy. Even the Bible talks about this. Talks about bad company ruining good characters. When you have bad company around you, that's actually disobedience. That's why the Most High isolates you in the first place, to get you away from those type of people, even to get you away from yourself. Because when you are in isolation, you're basically in a mode to where you don't know who you are. And here's the thing, just like the children of Israel, when the Most High delivered them from Egypt, and they kept looking back, well, is Pharaoh still back there? Oh, they kept looking back. He's almost catching up. Some of us do that unknowingly. When the Most High has delivered you from something and you keep looking back, and that's how your past catch up with you, because you keep looking back and trying to see, where is my past at? The past is behind you for a reason. It's supposed to stay behind you. And your thinking is not supposed to be thinking about what the past is doing. It doesn't matter what the past is doing. It's what are you doing? What are you supposed to be doing? And that's the thing. It's not even that you focus on, hey, so where are we going? How far is it? Are we there yet? You have to realize, if Yah before us, that means he goes before us. That means the Most High goes before us and before everything we do. So when you do something, you're supposed to go to the Most High and make sure, hey, is it okay if I do this? Because sometimes we do things due to the fact it's what we want to do. And when we do things, and it's like when we do those things we want to do, and we're like, well, I believe the Most High wanted me to do this. No, it's not something the Most High wanted you to do. It's something that you wanted to do. You did it because you wanted to. And here's the thing, sometimes we go and we step in traps. When you do something to harm yourself, you're going to feel it. And many times we do things and we blame other people. They broke my heart. No, you broke your heart. That's who broke your heart. You broke your heart. And I'm looking at it, and whoever is going through something and you're too afraid to do what Michael Jackson said, looking at the man in the mirror, I'm looking at you. You looking at me. I'm you that you're looking at in the mirror. You broke your heart. Nobody else did. You did. So let's stop this blaming each other. Even blaming stuff on Satan. Oh, Satan made me do it. Satan made you do nothing. All Satan did was put the opportunity of something you wanted to do in front of you. Basically, it was bait, and you took the bait. So let's be real. Again, it don't feel good, it's uncomfortable, but it's truth. And this is not me condemning anybody. Because we all make mistakes, we all do things. No one's perfect. No man is perfect. And that's the thing. Just as the Bible says to come as you are. Even I've taught my nephew, when my nephew asked me, Uncle Mike, how do I pray? Because he's always seen me do things and he wants to do things like me. He wants to be like me. I am, as far as a male figure or a father figure, I am that for him. And this is not me to claim, yeah, well, since I'm his uncle. I'm not his dad. I don't claim to be his dad. But I understand that he looks to me as a role model. And even I've had to tell him, Kai, although you see me as a role model, don't make me, don't turn as far as our relationship into an idol. And even sometimes when I say these things, I have to think before. That's why I said we're not perfect. I have to think before I say stuff. Due to the fact that I realize most people may never know who or what the Most High is. Most people may never get to experience love from the Most High. But I had to realize, me being who and what I am, I realize that those same people who may never know the Most High, they may get to know the Most High through me. Those who have never felt the Most High's love, they will get to experience the Most High's love through me. By experiencing who I am, they get to experience who the Most High is. Even that right there, for some people, that's deep. And I apologize. This video has been an hour and 16 minutes long. And that's one thing, they say when someone is always apologizing for something they shouldn't be apologizing for, that's a sign of emotional abuse. And this is not me up here crying out or pity me, woe is me, nothing like that. Some things I do, and I don't know, it seems like it's a habit. But I've always said, I believe that the Most High has given me the gift of gab. And not as a gift of gab as in just to blah, 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 and talk. But I've always said, I just hope that anything that I've said can be learned from. But I'll get back to what I was saying earlier. As far as like me being hurt, I've always realized that I've had some things that happened in my life that were significant. Even after I got shot, I started remembering things about my life you wouldn't think I would remember it. Like I was talking to my mom one day, and I was telling her, I don't know why I remember something when I was younger, and I remember the vision came vividly, and I saw my mom holding me, and I started throwing up, but I was throwing up out my nose. She immediately knew what I was talking about. She said, Mike, there's no way you could remember that. You were a baby, as in like, I was like less than a year. And I told her why I remember, and she explained to me what happened. She said when I was a baby, she was feeding me. And after she got finished feeding me, she went to burp me. And she said I started shaking, and I started throwing up out my nose. I started throwing up, but it wasn't coming out my mouth. It was coming out my nose, and it was coming out my tear ducts. And she was trying to open my mouth, but she couldn't. She said I wouldn't open my mouth. Then I just slumped over. I wasn't breathing. Most could say, you choked on your food, or this happened, or that happened. You want to know what I believe happened? I believe that there was a spiritual contract out on me as a baby. And it was Satan who didn't want me to live. And that's the thing, even like something like the Avengers, when they made up the idea, well, hey, how about we go back in time when Thanos was a baby and we just kill him? And the Hulk was like, yeah, that sounds good, but it wouldn't work. Because that's not how time works. And I've always believed that the Most High put something in me that threatens Satan. And I'm not going to say, oh, just me. There are some people who have that about them, that what is in them, it threatens the very balance of this world. It threatens the evil things in this world. Moses was placed in a basket on a river. Elijah was put in a cave. Joseph was put in a pit, then put in a prison before he went to the palace. Moses in a basket before he went to the palace. The Messiah placed in a what they say it's a manger. It wasn't a manger. Even the basket wasn't a basket, it was more like a trough where pigs eat from. He was in a trough. Now think about this. Majority of the Most High's life, he went without hearing from the Father. I can imagine. And here's the thing, most of us, we go many, many years without hearing from our physical dads. Those who don't have their dads in their lives. And not even as far as like, as far as being like human beings are being, as far as when it comes to the flesh. We're born in a world where we don't know who we are. So we don't know where we come from. We don't know who placed us here. Or why were we placed here? And you wonder why some babies cry when in the hospital. Because they come from a place where it's peaceful and it's nice. Just to be born in hell. And seeing these doctors and things for what they really are. You have to realize they see things we don't see. So when they see these doctors, they're not seeing doctors. They're seeing demons. They're seeing these evil entities. Hey, let's pump you with this medicine. Let's give you this vaccine. Let's give you this. Let's give you that. And they're placing all these spirits inside of you. All this poison inside of your body. And then it's like, calm down, baby. It's okay. No, it's not okay. I apologize. Sometimes I kind of go on some rants. It makes sense. If you understand, it makes sense. If you know, you know. What's understood does not have to be explained. But back to what I was saying. I believe that Satan was meant to try to kill me. But what doesn't, you know how they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I believe that had to do something with who I am today. As far as the struggle, the having to go through the many things I've gone through. I've had to go through having double pneumonia, to having my lung collapse as a teenager. I remember I got sick and I was coughing real bad and my side was hurting and every time I coughed, I couldn't stop coughing. And my mom was like, Mike, if you don't stop coughing, I'm going to take you to the doctor. And I couldn't talk. I was coughing that bad. She was like, you know what? I'm going to take you to the doctor. I remember this like it was yesterday. She took me to the doctor, and there was a lot of kids there who was sick. I guess it was something was going around. So most of the kids weren't coughing as bad as I was. So the doctor got me in the back immediately. They did X-rays. The doctor came in and said, "We need to get him to the hospital now." My mom was like, "What's going on?" The doctor said his left lung has collapsed and his right lung is filling with fluid and it's on the verge of collapsing. You know, it was hard to breathe. And he's like, if his lung collapsed, he's gonna pass out. He's not gonna be breathing. Again, has something to do with my breathing. When I got shot, I wasn't breathing. When I was a baby and I choked on when I was choked, I can't even say I was choked on food. And here's the thing to say, who knows if I was choked by an entity or a demon, or if I was choking on food. I've always knew everything happens for a reason. Maybe what I was eating wasn't supposed to be what I was eating. If you understand, you understand. Because, you can't help the things that you eat when you're a baby because you're being fed. And it's not to say to blame you. Well, I eat this now because it's what we've always been eating as a people. That's another thing, a cultural thing that gets us in trouble. We do it because our people in the past eat it. That's certain. When you're spiritually gifted, there's certain things you're not supposed to be eating. Pork being one. Seafood being another. And what the Messiah ate fish. Who knows what the Messiah ate? For all we know, they could have said the Messiah ate this and the Messiah ate that, and yeah, we'll believe it just because they wrote it. That's idiotic. It's ignorant. If I'm being honest. Just because somebody tell you something or say something does not mean that it's true. I can write something and say, yeah, this was written 1,000 years ago. But does it sound like it was written 1,000 years ago? No. You were like, hold on, this sounds like this was written today. It's like even with songs. You hear a certain song, you can tell the age of the song from the content of what it's talking about. Most songs today, especially rap, it sounds the same. They're talking about drugs, money, killing, being flashy. And it's crazy how a lot of rappers are getting locked up and wonder, why am I getting locked up? Listen to your songs. Yeah, we go out and we smoke him and we smoke him and we shoot and kill him. And then come back, this person who got killed, hey, this song sounds like it's talking about this murder. You're basically giving evidence to the enemy. Satan's whole job is to persecute you, to accuse you. It doesn't help when you give the enemy the things that they need to prosecute you and make yourself guilty. That's the thing. When it's all said and done, whether you're innocent or guilty, it's going to be because of you. Not because of Satan, not because of the Most High, not because your mama or your daddy or your brother or sister. It's going to be because of you that you're found guilty. How do I fix that? And again, this is not to... When I get like this, I'm not yelling at nobody. I'm just very passionate, and I understand that what's in me is more powerful than anything that, as far as you can think. When you are a seer, which is a prophet, you are a mouthpiece to the Most High, and you have to realize when the Most High speaks in a way where all will listen, all will hear. So sometimes when my voice get elevated, I'm not fussing at you. I'm not trying to discipline you. It's just that the Most High is using me. And I've always told people this, even my nephew. Sometimes when I speak, you may think it's me speaking to you, but it's not. It's the Most High speaking through me. Even when you read in the Bible and it talks about the two prophets who are going to come and preach the words of the Most High like no man has preached. This could very well be one of those moments. But to get back onto what I was saying, and this is, all these things I'm saying, it's not to prove to anybody I am who I say I am, or I am what I say I am. It's not to prove that. There's so much stuff that I've been through And I won't speak on, due to the fact that there's so many eyes that are watching, especially on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all these social media sites. You have so many eyes that are watching. You have those, you have watchers. You have those who are watched because they're supposed to be watching. And I'm not talking about they're supposed to be watching. Make no mistake about it. When I say you're watching, you watch in the spirit. Now you're able to see the physical things, but when you're a watcher, and here's the thing, most people feel like, oh, watchers are the evil and watchers is this and watchers is that. There's a lot of things we don't know what a lot of things are, due to the fact that a lot of things are unknown and will stay unknown for a reason. It's not that you're not worthy enough to understand it. It's that your physical brain just can't your physical brain can't understand some things because it's a part of this physical world. And you're trying to get your physical brain to understand something spiritual. It's like, hey, I'm gonna make a fire underwater. No, you can't build a fire underwater. It's impossible. It's not gonna happen. No matter how hard you wish, no matter how hard you try to think or even manifest, there are certain things that's not gonna happen. Due to the fact that it's not meant to be. And this is not to put doubt in people say, oh, well, you can't do this or you can't do that. If it's meant to be, and I want to build a fire underwater, I will build a fire underwater. But till that day, there's just some things that are supposed to remain unknown. There's a lot of things about space that we don't know about. All the time, not knowing that space is not real. Space is a concept to keep you thinking about something that's outside of you. That's the whole point of the firmament. It's even the firmament. The firmament represents a spiritual barrier around you. It's not supposed to be talking about the earth because the earth is you. Specifically, when I say that, I mean women. Our beautiful black women. They give life. Well, what about the seed? The seed comes from the man. Where the man comes from? From the earth. So we come from the body, and then we give back to the body. Even Job said it best. From dust I come, to dust I go. From the earth I come, back to the earth I go. And you can say, yeah, that's when, when you die and you get buried. But the thing is, most people don't realize when you're buried in a coffin or you put in a box, your body is going to become dust anyway. Your flesh will get eaten by the maggots. The maggots will eventually die and become dust. Your bones will become dust. And it's supposed to go back into the earth. The same way when they say when you die. You don't die. Your body dies, but you live. Due to the fact that energy is basically it's distributed back into where it comes from. Then you think, well, where does energy come from? Energy is energy. Energy doesn't come from anything. It's just energy. When you think about energy, you talk about the Most High. And that's not to separate the divine feminine from the divine masculinity. When you think about energy, you think about energy as a whole, as a oneness, it's just everything together. That's why when you think about, well, I come from my dad's, and we're all grown-ups, and I'll say this, I come from my dad's nutsack. And my dad placed me into my mom, and then I was formed in my mom, and then out of my mom I came. Same thing with, I've always, when I was younger, I always used to believe we were in a place before we were born, and we just don't remember. And that's true. We all come from somewhere, but we don't remember. Why we don't remember? You have to think. In the Bible, it says, God said, let there be light, and there was light. And you have to think. Just like, when people think about love, love is not a word of, it's not a noun. Love is a verb. Love is a verb. It's an action. So if I say love, then you're supposed to do something. Just like if somebody would yell, run! You're not going to go, yeah, run. No, you're going to run because you're going to be like, hey, what's wrong? The urgency in your voice is telling me to run, run. So you're going to run. So if I say love, that means to do something. Love is a commandment. Most people really don't know what the meaning of love is because I'll be honest. We don't know the real meaning of love. If we really knew the meaning of love, we would know that the Most High is love. We would know the Most High. Due to the fact that a lot of us don't know. A lot of people don't know the Most High. They don't know love. You don't love somebody when they're doing something for you, and when they stop, you stop loving them. That's not love. That's what conditional love is. When I love somebody, I don't care if, hey, me loving you is not predicated on how many times you come and do stuff for me, or how many times you talk to me, or how many times you make me feel good. I love you just because. And that's the thing. Why is it, and Yahshua the seer spoke on this, why is it that the Most High has to write something, has to put something down for us to do it? I should want to love you because it's who I am. And that loving is not just for me. It's for the, even how, how they say, when you forgive somebody, forgiveness is not for them. It's for you. Now I want to say this, loving someone else, here's the thing. This is how even us as seers, chosen, star seeds, this is how we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be giving. I should want to love you unconditionally, no matter how bad you've treated me, no matter how bad you've done me. I should want to love you regardless. Because the thing at the end of the day, whether you like me or not, you will experience the love of the Most High, whether I want you to or not. And that's the thing. I would never tell someone, no, I don't want to love you. I don't want you to experience the love of the Most High. Because it's not up to me. There are certain things that we have to do even when we don't want to do it. There are certain places we have to go even if we don't want to go. When the Most High doesn't want you to go somewhere, you won't go. I need to turn my text messages off. And that's the thing, we have tasks that we have to do. We have things that must be completed. And here's the thing. If you don't do it, the Most High will definitely give it to someone else to do. Because here's the thing. When the Most High is waiting on you and you're tiptoeing and you're And you know how some people say, there's delays in my life. You want to know who caused those delays? You. Satan doesn't cause any delays. And if the Most High caused a delay, that delay is only but for a moment. But when it seems like that delay has become delay after delay after delay after delay, you have to stop looking and saying, well, God, what is it? What's going on in my life? Why is it that I'm trying to do this, but it seems like a delay? You have to go from that to actually looking at you and seeing what is it that you're doing or what is it that you're not doing that's causing your delay. Be mindful in the things that you do and the things that you don't do. Be mindful in the things that you say and the things that you don't say. Because a lot of people don't realize it's not just the things that you do and say that'll get you in trouble. It's the things that you don't do and you don't say. Because there can be times where somebody can be going through something and you can give them a word of encouragement and you don't do it. That's disobedience. Love thy neighbor as you love yourself. If you see somebody going through something, you're going to want the same advice that you can give them. You're going to want somebody to give you that advice that can lift up your spirit and make you feel better. So why not do it for that person? Is it because you don't love them enough, or you don't feel like they're good enough to get that advice from you? And that's the thing, especially with people who call themselves seers. You can't be choicy and to who to teach. Well, no, I'm not teaching them because they over there. No, I'm not talking to them because they the camps and they the this and they the that. Even they have to learn as well. These camps, these Hebrew Israelites that sit on a corner and cuss out Caucasian people and even cuss out their own people. And it's amazing. Like I see them, I don't go out to look for them. I see them on videos and I turn off. I'm like, no. Here's the thing. You have to realize the things you watch, you entertain. So if you see ignorance on the internet and you watch it, you are entertaining ignorance. And I refuse to do that. I refuse to let someone to try to tell me that I'm something that I know I'm not. Oh, we're the Egyptians. We are not the Egyptians. We the this and we the that. We are not this or that. You're letting somebody tell you who and what you are and not listening when the Most High has already told you. Now, I apologize. I know it seems like I'm getting angry. I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I promise. I'm just real passionate with what I'm saying. Even when I was talking about earlier, when I read the Bible about the Messiah having eyes being red like fire, hair like wool. You can't see the hair on my face as far as like I have some, as far as like the grays and I'll be honest, I did cut it a little bit, which I shouldn't have. I'll be honest. Like I said, we're not all perfect. We all make mistakes. We all fall, but you get up. That's the thing about it. Not to dwell on, oh, I messed up. I did this what I shouldn't have did. Oh my God. I'm going to die. I'm going to go to hell. No. Get up. Own the mistake. You made a mistake. What's done is done. Now do better. Be better. You know better, so do better. Since you need to do better, be better. Because in order to do better, you have to be better. In order to be better, you have to know better. Most of you see how this eye is like this and this eye is like this? It's from when I got shot. So I do have some disabilities. And here's the thing, it's not to, hey, look at me, I got shot in my head. I'm sad. No. It happened. It happened for a reason. And I would get into that, but this video is too long. It's almost 2 hours long. But I will end it with this. I love you with the love of the Most High. The Most High loves you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Shalom. Shalom. I can't even say, when I'm making the next video, what I'm going to talk about, because I talked about a lot today. I talked about a lot. Next time, I'll bring scripture out, and I want you guys to see something. This is my Bible. And it may not seem like much, but there's this saying. A person's Bible that is destroyed, their life isn't. And I want you to see, this is my Bible right here. Look at this. This Bible has been through a lot. Even the spine of it came off. I've had this Bible for many years. But I've used this Bible many years. It's always been I'm not going to say my number one go. It's always been a go-to thing for me. Study to show thyself approval. So I have to go to this. Now, do I always go to this? I'll be honest, I don't. Most of the time, I go within. And I'll show you, I go within. Because that's where the answers come from. From within. That's where the truth comes from within. But I'm going to end this video again. Shalom. Shalom. Peace, love, and light, my brothers and sisters. I love you. The Most High loves you. And there's nothing you can do about it. And I will talk with you beautiful people another time.